So I think probably the place to start is in 1967 with the paper written by Schwartz and Lelouch, which gives a definition of pragmatic trials and explains what those trials are, and also the paper written about 30 years later in the BMJ by Martin Rowland and David Torgerson on pragmatic trials, giving a slightly different take on the definitions. And I think those two papers have stood the test of time. They intellectually rigorous, and they give a kind of background to pragmatic trials. In the 21st century, there have been quite a number of papers written, and the interest in pragmatic trials, or at least when the publications really started to come out, was about 2008, 2009. So in 2009, there's a special issue of the Journal of Clinical Epidemiology, which focuses on pragmatic trials. And then more recently, the Innovative Medicines Initiative Get Real programme has brought out a number of papers looking at pragmatic trials, specifically in drug trials. So that's a good source if you want to understand about pragmatic drug trials. But I guess in terms of conducting pragmatic trials, I think the two main sources to go to would be the Consort extension for pragmatic trials and the Précis2 tool. Both of those disaggregate the different aspects of trials up, so you can see the difference between pragmatic and explanatory trials. And so both of those have websites. The Consort extension you can get from the general Consort website, and that provides a checklist which you can browse and look at, and also an explanation and elaboration document which you can download from the website, which gives explanation for all the items in the checklist about how they should be done differently and why they should be done differently in pragmatic trials. The Précis2 tool also has a website, and that has two functions. One is educational, explaining to people how they should use the Précis2 tool, and the other is as a repository, so it has a database of trials that have used the Précis2 tool, and so you can upload your own trial with your little Précis wheel, and so you can flick through that and see what other people's trials look like in terms of how pragmatic they are.